The FBI's 10 most wanted list explained 2025 by Trust Me Bro. Trust Me Bro's fire. Watched a couple of his videos before. Pretty good. I was going to watch the serial killer one, but there's 2 parts to it. And I might watch both of them back to back on a stream Monday or something. Something different. I don't know. But yeah, lock him.
Every person currently on the FBI's most wanted list. This is the FBI's 10 most wanted list. It is a rotating list of fugitives that are so wanted by the government that they are literally asking the public for help and offering major cash rewards. When I did a deep dive on the
What are you guys doing if you're on the most wanted list? What are you guys like? What's your guys' plan? I'm in Costa Rica. That's all I know. I'm in Costa Rica. Oh, making a TikTok. All right, bro.
A year ago, you guys loved it. And today, I'm going to be doing an updated version of the list. Not only am I going to explain in detail who is currently on the list and why, but I am also going to give updates about everybody who was on the list in my last video and what happened to them today. Now, let's begin. Fausto Isidro Meza Flores. Fausto was born on June 19th, 1982 in Mexico. He is 43 years old, he has dark hair, brown eyes, weighs approximately 160 pounds, and is 5'6". And Fausto is also known as El Chapo.
It's weird because they're on the wanted list, so these guys are just these guys are walking around somewhere, just chilling.
Isidro. Fausto is one of the most recent additions to the
5'6", 160.
added only on February 4th, 2025. Although this individual is no stranger to crime and has a long history
Just a normal
of criminal
person.
activity. Fausto is accused of spending the last 20 years flooding the United States with drugs that are extremely deadly and dangerous to society. This list includes fentanyl, cocaine, heroin, and other deadly drugs. It's reported that Fausto started his criminal career as an independent solo trafficker bringing small loads across the border for quick cash. Although today, it's assumed that he is the leader of the Meza Flores cartel with a massive drug route smuggling millions of dollars of drugs into the United States every single year. According to the FBI, the Meza Flores cartel is based out of Sinaloa, Mexico, and is primarily involved in the production, transportation, and distribution of these deadly drugs, meaning that they're pretty vertically integrated, but unfortunately in the worst way possible. Like any good alleged cartel boss, Fausto is not only wanted for drug charges, but he's also wanted for potential links to other insane crimes such as kidnapping, extortion, torture, and murder. It is believed that Fausto currently resides in Mexico, and he is considered armed and dangerous and an international.
It's crazy how they can just chill in Mexico though. Like, I feel like Mexico is one of them countries that are like built, you know, like they're not like a third world. I mean, I don't know if parts of it are or not, but they're not like a third world country. You know, it's so weird that they can just. I guess there's gang leaders here though, so I guess it's kind of the same deal.
National flight risk. The charges that Fausto are currently facing are the following: conspiracy to manufacture and distribute 500 grams or more of methamphetamine, distribute 5 kilograms or more of cocaine, distribute 1 or more kilogram of heroin, and distribute 1,000 kilograms or more of marijuana for importation into the
Right, like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm surprised like nobody's like you're telling me there's no cartel insider or nothing that's like, yeah, this guy, there's gotta be. Ooh, imagine being a spy in the cartel, bro. Yo, I would be terrified, genuinely terrified, constantly.
United States, use and possession of a firearm. Those charges are insane, and we're only just getting started. And if you happen to have any information about Fausto, the government is offering up to $5 million for
I heard
any
it for your first,
information
man.
that leads to the arrest and conviction of Fausto Medero Flores. That reward is massive, but I doubt it's the biggest one we're going to see on this list. Let's move on. Giovanni Vicente Mosquero Serrano. Giovanni was born on February 22nd, 1988. He's 37 years old, born in Venezuela, has black hair, brown eyes, and his height and weight are unknown. And he's also known as El Viejo. Giovanni was added extremely recently to the FBI's most wanted list, being added only a few months ago in June of 2025. Although with the list of charges I'm about
I know somebody with that last name, Hispanic. Missing something here.
to read you, it's no surprise he's on this list. Giovanni is currently being charged with international cocaine distribution conspiracy, international cocaine distribution, providing material support to a foreign terrorist organization conspiracy, and providing and attempting to provide material support to a foreign terrorist organization. Giovanni is the alleged senior leader of the Tren de Aragua transnational gang, a gang that has specifically been designated as a foreign terrorist organization by the United States government. This gang originated solely in Venezuela, but now has operations throughout all of Latin America and the United States. And the primary reason why Giovanni is on this
All right,
list
bet.
is
Appreciate
because
you.
the gang that he is the alleged senior leader of is allegedly responsible for sending gang members into the United States to engage in drug trafficking, human trafficking, weapons trafficking,
Wow.
and other violent crimes.
So sending
The
them
hunt for
straight
Giovanni
through
specifically is actually part of a broader movement in the United States
Mexico?
known as Operation Take Back America, which is a DOJ-led campaign targeting cartels and violent gangs that are based in other countries but operating within the United States. And not only is there support from the FBI in this investigation, but there's also support from the DEA, CIA, and other international partners. As of today, it is believed that Giovanni is either in Colombia or Venezuela. And if you have any information that could lead to the conviction or arrest of Giovanni, the U.S.
Hey,
government
Venezuela right now is the last place I'm being. What? They got that place surrounded like it's a military base, bro.
is offering $3 million for your information. Omar Alexander Cardenas. Omar was born on March 23rd, 1995, in Los Angeles, California. He
Oh,
currently
this is the
40
first
years
one that
old,
was
has
born in
dark
the
brown
US, I
hair,
think.
brown eyes, and is approximately 5'6" and roughly 250 to 300 pounds, which is
Unless the first one
insane.
was, I don't think it
What's
was
more
though.
insane are his crimes. On August 15th, 2019, Omar is alleged to have
2019?
arrived at an open-air shopping center, walked directly up to the window of a barbershop, and fired several rounds into the barbershop via a semi-automatic pistol. And unfortunately, during the shooting, one man lost his life. Although, interestingly, according to the FBI, it's believed that Omar doesn't even know the man that he killed, meaning that he either shot someone he was not intending to kill, or this was simply a random act of violence, likely as part of a gang initiation. Fortunately, there is CCTV footage of Omar walking to the shopping center and slowly waddling away as well. Although, even with this video footage, he has still not been caught nearly 6 years later. According to the FBI, it is alleged that Omar is involved with the Pierce Street Gang in Los Angeles. And it's also believed that his street name is Dollar, likely short for Dollar Menu. In all seriousness,
What? No, that's crazy. That puts him on the top 10 most wanted list, though. Like, yes, obviously what he did was terrible. It was a terrible thing to happen, but that puts him on the most wanted list. Top 10? He's top 10 bad person in the world, bro? I could see it, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like there's some crazy people out there that's done some crazy things. I guess that's pretty crazy, though. I guess shooting into a barbershop is pretty crazy, but it's like, and they haven't found him for 6 years either.
though, Omar is currently facing the charges of unlawful flight to avoid prosecution and murder. And once again, according to the FBI, it is believed that he is
So I
also
believe he
been involved with
gone.
other violent crimes as well, further adding to the terror this man has caused. It is reported that Omar often has a beard and also sometimes wears thick prescription glasses.
Yeah, wait.
And the FBI also believes that Omar may be in Mexico but could possibly be anywhere in the United States. To me, it's still shocking that 6 years later, this man that killed somebody in broad daylight on camera is still free to this day. But
Yeah,
it's for this
catching him
reason
on
that the
camera is
FBI is
crazy
currently
and still
offering
not being able to find him.
$250,000 for any information that could lead to the arrest or conviction of Omar Alexander Cardenas.
Like, you gotta think about it, though. He has to own nothing. Nothing. They have his name. They have what he looks like. They have his age. They have hair color, eye color, what he wears. Everything, bro. They have surveillance on him. They have exactly what he looks like. He can't own anything. His name will pop up instantly being on top 10, bro. Only 250,000 up to. They don't want to find this guy that bad. The other people with 5 million.
Alejandro Castillo. Alejandro, or Alex Castillo, was born on November 26, 1998, making him the youngest person on this list. being only
98?
26 years old at the time of recording. He
Wow.
was born in Arizona, has black hair, brown eyes, is 5 feet 6 inches tall, and weighs approximately
A lot of these guys are
180 to
short.
190 pounds. Similar to Omar, Alejandro is wanted for unlawful flight to avoid prosecution and murder. But in case that wasn't crazy enough, the story behind it makes it even crazier. In August of 2016, Alejandro was working in a Shomar's restaurant in Charlotte, North Carolina. He worked at this restaurant with his current girlfriend, Mia.
So 10
and
years
his
ago, what was he? He's 16. Right? No. 98. He would have been 18.
girlfriend Sandy. At this time, Alejandro was 17, Mia was 19.
I
and
think I've
Sandy
seen
was
this story,
23.
actually.
An
Wait.
investigation by the FBI and Charlotte police revealed that Alejandro actually borrowed and owed Sandy $1,000.
He killed her. Fled to Mexico with the other chick. Hold on, bro.
Although this was a
Wait,
debt
is
he
this the
never
same one?
intended to repay. Phone records were able to confirm that on August 9th, 2016, Alejandro had contacted Sandy telling her that they should meet up so he can pay her the money he owed her. Sandy agreed to meet up with him and they met at a Quick Trip in Charlotte.
This one's
What
messed
happened
up.
next was genuinely disturbing.
Hey, I was just
When
there.
the two met at the Quick Trip gas station, Alejandro quickly forced Sandy to take out all of the money she could out of an ATM, and then it's suspected that he took her car with her in it to a remote location where he took Sandy out of the vehicle, shot her, killing her instantly, dumped her body in the ditch, and then stole her car to flee the scene. 6 days later,
Wow.
on August 15th, Sandy's car was found at a bus station in Phoenix, Arizona, Alejandro's hometown. And only 1 day later, on August 16th, Alejandro was seen on CCTV footage crossing the Arizona-Mexico border on foot to unfortunately never be seen again. To add insult to injury, it was only hours between the time that Alejandro had passed into Mexico and the body of Sandy was finally discovered back in Charlotte. It is believed by the FBI that Alejandro is still hiding in Mexico and is possibly being protected by local authorities. To me, it is just so heartbreaking how seemingly
It's so,
easily
like,
Alejandro was able to get away with.
So crazy, bro. But this is what I was saying earlier about the other dude that just shot up the barbershop. It's like, so do they not put is terrorist like organizations CIA? Because now I'm feeling like I feel like the organizations are the CIA and then the people are FBI. So, or like I feel like there's different levels to the crimes that they do, like certain or not levels, but different types. You know what I mean? Different types of crimes because most crime is considered. I mean, at some point you cap out. At some point you cap out on morality, bro. Like, so I'm wondering because there's no way that a top terrorist is under like one of these guys, you know, like they're not looking for them, you know, they're not top 10 on their watch list, you know. I don't know. So these must be like people who've done crimes within the US and now they're, I don't know, fleeing around, I guess. I don't know. Or like they're not tied to a certain organization, but the first two were tied to an organization, so I don't know. Maybe it's something completely unrelated.
With this crime for this long. However, there is still hope that justice will finally be served. It's for that reason that the United States government is offering up to $250,000
Surrendered after first half? That's how you come in?
for any information that could lead to the arrest or conviction of Alejandro Castillo. Wilver Villegas Palomino. Wilver was born in Colombia on October 21st, 1981.
It's close to my birthday.
He just celebrated his 44th birthday. He has brown eyes, black hair, and is believed to be 5'7" to 5'9" and roughly 190 pounds. And while Wilver may seem unassuming, his list of charges are nuts. Wilver
They're
is
like all
currently
under
wanted
5'8".
for terrorism in international cocaine distribution. The FBI has confirmed that Wilver is a high-ranking member of the National Liberation Army, or ELN, and is wanted for his association with the drug trafficking activities of the ELN Northeastern Warfront, which is a region that stretches across Colombia and Venezuela. The ELN Northeastern Warfront oversees
Venezuela
multiple
again.
laboratories that produce over 200 tons of cocaine every single year. And this product is
Jesus.
distributed globally. It's alleged that the massive profits from these drug operations go directly to funding domestic terrorism, political corruption, and even to subvert U.S. national security and law enforcement interests in the region in which he operates. Like most gangs and cartels, the ELN is not only associated
How much money do you think they see? Oh my god. It's gotta be billions, bro. Gotta be billion, at least hundreds of millions. What do you say, 2,000 tons? Bro. Like, the pictures they probably got. Just cash piled up in a room. Big as my room, just full of cash, like a vault. Just go in there and take out a band of cash. Boop. Not a band of cash.
with the production and
Like
distribution
that,
of drugs,
but
also
cash,
other
not
crimes such as
what it is.
extortion, torture, and kidnapping. That is all also in addition to funding political corruption and funding literal terrorism. The FBI not only recognizes ELN,
ELN
as a
is-
trafficking and a terrorist organization, but also as an
Oh,
army,
okay.
specifically recruiting young men that are poor and have no other option, usually intimidating them with violence.
I've always wondered this. I've always wondered how his like a mercenary group never became. I'm sure there has been. I'm just like unaware. GM2 on your team. Jeez, I'm sure there is a merc group that like has been made into like a country or something. But I'm surprised it doesn't happen because there was a case a little while ago, a couple weeks ago, where two people recruited a bunch of like it was a homeless people and they went down to an island. I forgot where it was. Might have been Haiti. I think it was Haiti. Went down to an island and tried to take over Haiti, bro, with a bunch of homeless people. Like, what are we doing? But I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often. Like, you would think that would be a more common thing with like the being able to just pretty much get whatever you want here. I mean, with like different types of things. I don't know. Jesus, that probably wasn't the best place to pause, bro. Oh my god.
Member of their army. And unfortunately, for many individuals, the story that ELN is selling is appealing, and sadly, typically results in the tragic death of these young men who didn't know any better. The FBI is dedicated to bringing Wilver to justice after his multi-decade-long conspiracy, as well as his involvement in ELN's other operations, which is why, for that reason, he's been on this list since 2020. And the US government is currently offering up to $5 million for any information that leads to Wilver's arrest or conviction. But be warned, it should kind of go without saying, but Wilver is considered armed and dangerous. Bhadresh Kumar Patel. Bhadresh Kumar was born on May 15th, 1990 in India. He's currently 35 years old, is 5'9", and is approximately 165 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes, and he is wanted for the following crimes: unlawful flight to avoid prosecution, first-degree murder, second-degree murder, first-degree assault, second-degree assault, and dangerous weapon with...
Is unlawful flight to avoid prosecution, is that like a top thing? That can't be that bad. Like, that can't be the first thing you list is that, bro? And then you do first degree? Are you serious?
To injure. The story of Bhadresh Kumar is extremely disturbing and also rings similar to the story we told of Alejandro, for reasons you'll see shortly. In 2015, Bhadresh Kumar and his newlywed wife moved from India to the United States, where they both lived and worked at a donut shop in Maryland. On April 12th of 2015, both Bhadresh Kumar and his wife were working the night shift together. And it was during this night shift when Bhadresh Kumar's wife, Palak, happened to take a phone
I seen
call
this
with
one
his family,
too. This one's crazy.
back home to India. During this time as well, the FBI reported that Bhadresh Kumar and Palak's visas also expired, giving them good reason to visit home. However, Palak would never have the opportunity to visit home again. During Palak's phone call to her family, Bhadresh Kumar asked his wife to follow him into the back room of the donut shop, where he then allegedly stabbed her multiple times to death. And shockingly, as you can see, a lot of this encounter is captured on CCTV. At the time, Bhadresh Kumar was only 25 years old, and his wife was only 21.
Man.
And after the horrific event took place, you can actually see Bhadresh Kumar walking casually out of the back as if nothing happened. Following this event, Bhadresh Kumar left the donut shop, went home, grabbed cash, his passport, and immediately went to a hotel where he stayed the night. He checked into the hotel at 3 a.m. and checked out at 10 a.m. And this was once again captured on CCTV.
So he just went, had a good night rest. 7 hours. He just chilled for 7 hours, dude. You know they're looking. Like, I wonder how long it took them to find her.
When Bhadresh Kumar left the hotel, he was driven by a taxi driver to Newark Penn Station, where he was never seen again. And after 2 years of searching with no success, the FBI decided to add Bhadresh Kumar to the FBI's 10 most wanted list. And since his addition in 2017...
Newark Penn Station? What is that? Is that a train station? Because couldn't they follow the train? Like where the train went? Or maybe he didn't get on the train. Maybe it was a mislead. Ooh.
17, Bhadresh Kumar has remained on the list, and unfortunately, at large. The FBI is currently offering up
so
to
you don't even know where he's at.
$250,000 for any information that leads to the arrest or conviction of Bhadresh Kumar. And he is considered to be armed and extremely dangerous. This case is another extremely heartbreaking and upsetting case.
So random.
How much evidence there is, however, how little progress has been made over the last decade. Ryan James wedding. So far, we've talked about a lot of upsetting and disturbing and twisted cases, but this one is likely one of the most interesting because of the sheer twists and turns. Let me just get right into it. Ryan was born on September 14th, 1981 in Canada. He's 34 years old, has brown hair, blue eyes, and is roughly 6'3" and 240 pounds. And the list of charges against Ryan are long. Conspiracy to distribute and possess with intent to distribute controlled substances, conspiracy to export cocaine, continuing criminal enterprise, murder in connection with a continuing criminal enterprise and crime, attempting to commit murder in connection with a continuing criminal enterprise and crime.
Jesus Christ.
Ryan also goes by El Jefe, and if he looks familiar, it might be because you've seen him on the literal Olympics. That's right, Ryan competed in the 2002 Winter Olympic Games in Salt Lake City and was an Olympic snowboarder. And I guess you could say he's technically still hitting the powder to this day. Now, jokes aside, going from being an Olympic athlete to then being the kingpin of an international drug smuggling ring is a pretty interesting career shift. However, Ryan's criminal career is nothing to gloat about. Ryan is alleged to not only run but participate in one of the largest drug trafficking operations that routinely ships hundreds of kilograms of cocaine from Colombia directly through Mexico, California, and even all the way to Canada.
Oh, the hold that this country right here, Colombia, bro, has on all this drug stuff is so crazy, bro. Genuinely so crazy.
As well as other states in the United States. On top of running and operating an extremely sophisticated drug trafficking operation, Ryan is also alleged to have been involved in multiple murders linked to the furtherance of his drug crimes. It is suspected that Ryan has been involved in this operation for many years now. However, he was only added to the list extremely...
How do you think he was approached about it? As an Olympian? Like, you're putting on for your country and then somebody asks you, like, oh, you want to do this? Like, who would ask the person being an athlete for the U.S., do you want to serve drugs to the U.S.? Like, bro, what?
In March of 2025. Ryan is considered armed and dangerous, and as of today, the FBI is offering up to $10 million for any information that leads to the arrest or conviction of Ryan James Wedding. Ruja Ignatova. The crimes of Ruja Ignatova are definitely not excusable. However, she's going to seem like more or less of a palate cleanse in comparison to some of the other entries on this list.
Shit, fraud.
Ruja was born in Bulgaria on May
I know
30th,
I've seen her before.
1980, making her 45 years old. She has brown eyes, black hair, and she is known as the crypto queen, and I think you can see where this is going. The current charges against Ruja are as follows: conspiracy to commit money laundering and conspiracy to commit securities fraud. In 2014, Ruja established her company OneCoin, which is a Bulgaria-based cryptocurrency company. And this OneCoin that her and her team developed was promoted as...
But in all fairness, she just did what every meme coin has ever done in the history of the world and rug pulled a bunch of people. It was just big. You know? She has got a bunch of people to back it. Which, that's what these meme coin people do. I mean, funny comparison, but Octua coin, they got Haley Welch to back it and then rug pulled it. You know, she probably didn't even know what was going on. This lady knew what was going on, but you know, she was the person recruiting people.
The Bitcoin killer and the cryptocurrency to rule them all. That's right, crypto scams have been going...
But every coin says that though, bro.
On for over a decade now. Feel old yet? Although Ruja's OneCoin was definitely one of the first major examples of blatant corruption and robbery. While Ruja positioned herself as a genius entrepreneur and positioned OneCoin as the future of cryptocurrency, OneCoin was created with one true intention in mind: to defraud people out of money. And it had no origin or no intention of ever being anything legitimate. With the early excitement of cryptocurrency rising in 2014, Ruja used inflated credentials and flashy marketing to take advantage of the market's interest and lack of knowledge. Without getting too deep into the weeds on cryptocurrency, the long and short of it is this. Bitcoin, for example, is a decentralized currency, meaning that everything that takes place on Bitcoin is tracked on-chain and publicly available to everybody. However, OneCoin operated on a private blockchain that was centralized, meaning that nothing was disclosed to the investor and everything that happened on-chain was basically owned and visible only to OneCoin. Due to the centralized nature of OneCoin, it allowed for easy and effective market manipulation.
Yeah, the whole point of crypto is decentralization. Why on God's green would you ever invest in a centralized? You just buy currency. Just buy currency. If that's what you want to do, just buy currency. Convert your US to yen. Like, bro, it's the same thing.
OneCoin was much more successful
Pretty
than it
much.
actually was. And
I don't know
because of
how
this,
she would
OneCoin
even
was
market
able to
that.
boast impressive numbers and gain investors quickly. However, what goes up must come down. Oh, and disgustingly, one of the marketing tactics they used was multi-level marketing, specifically requesting that all investors of OneCoin got their friends and family to also invest, which, as you can probably assume, led to a lot of people's financial misfortune. Only 2 years after the initial launch of OneCoin, in 2016, they held a massive event in London where Ruja herself spoke on stage in a magnificent red dress, talking about all the success that OneCoin has been able to achieve in such a
like the
short
Hunger
amount of
Games.
time. It was at this event that Ruja specifically claimed claimed that OneCoin had over 2 million active users, and that OneCoin had the most active users out of any cryptocurrency
I didn't know
ever
that.
at the time. And it was only within 1 year after this event took place that the entire house of cards fell. The result was
Why? Like, I low-key want to go deep into this now. I low-key want to watch we might watch that one day, like a documentary on OneCoin, bro, because I'm trying to figure out why somebody would even buy it, bro.
$4 billion lost for investors in a global manhunt for Ruja. Ruja was officially charged with the crimes associated with OneCoin in 2017. And unfortunately, 2017 was the last time Ruja was ever seen, as she was spotted traveling from Sofia, Bulgaria to Athens, Greece. At the time of making this video,
Greece?
Ruja was the 11th woman.
Why Greece? I feel like Greece is a weird... I've never heard anybody fleeing to Greece.
Ever to be added in its 75 years of existence. And today, the FBI is offering up to $5 million for any information that leads to the arrest or
5
conviction
million?
of Ruja Ignatova.
I feel like that
Yulan
has nothing to do with the FBI, though. Like, again, I'm trying to figure out what... Because that's completely not even the U.S. at that point. I mean, unless you're counting the people who bought it in the U.S., but at the same time, I feel like it wasn't that popular in the U.S. I feel like it was probably popular in like Europe or Middle East more than here.
Archaga Carreras. Yulan was born on February 13th, 1982 in Honduras. He is 5'5" and weighs 160 pounds and has black hair and brown eyes. And while this man may have a petite stature, his list of crimes is anything but small. Yulan is currently charged with the following crimes: racketeering conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, possession of machine guns, and conspiracy to possess machine guns. But his list of true crimes goes far beyond these charges. Yulan is the alleged leader of the infamous MS-13 gang for all of Honduras. MS-13 is an extremely dangerous transnational gang whose sole purpose is violence. MS-13 uses violent acts worldwide to support their prestige, enhance their reputation, and to control and grow its controlling territories. The FBI has stated themselves that they don't understand the end goal of MS-13, and they believe that MS-13's goal is to use fear to grow in power to then eventually grow into some sort of governmental entity.
What I was talking about earlier. Exactly what I was talking about earlier. I'm surprised that it hasn't happened yet. To be quite honest with you, surprised it hasn't happened yet. Because, I mean, why not? You know? I mean, why wouldn't it happen? There's people out here like this. Like, obviously. Like, that's the way I look at it. Like, things that you could think of, somebody else has thought of, right? Somebody else has probably also tried to act on them things that you've thought of. So it's like, bro, 1-1. We got Team Diff, the second main heal had 4K healing. GG's.
That is still unconfirmed. With the fear and reputation of violence that MS-13 has, they're easily able to sell drugs and extort individuals in return for large sums of money to further fund their terroristic activity. And I don't use that term lightly. MS-13 is considered a terrorist organization in El Salvador, and is likely to be considered that in other places as well soon. With this brief explanation of what MS-13 is all about, it's not hard to understand why the leader of an entire division of this group is currently on the most wanted list. And the reason why America is so interested in Yulian is because, once again, his operations closely involve violent acts that take place on American soil and the mass importation of illegal and deadly drugs onto American soil.
California, and parts of California, MS-13.
Yulan has been on the FBI's most wanted list since 2021, and at the time of recording this video, he still remains at large. Which is why today the FBI is offering up to $5 million for any information that leads to the arrest or
So it seems like they are more worried about the people who are ahead of the organizations, rather than like the random killings people. It's like all the head of the people, or all the head of the organizations all have like 5 million on their head. Jeez, 5 mil on your head.
Adonai Archaga Carreras. Although it is noted that Yulan should be considered armed and extremely dangerous. Cindy Rodriguez Singh. Off the bat, that is a name combination you do not hear often. Indian Mexican. Anyways, this lady was actually captured, which is a massive W, but I still want to mention her quickly, because she's technically still on the list. Cindy was born on January 30th, 1985 in Dallas, Texas. She has brown hair, brown eyes, is roughly 5'1" to 5'3".
That is a little bit of a, that is a little bit of like an anomaly of a mix. Mexican and Indian. It's pretty pretty weird. Not weird, but like different. I've never seen that besides this lady right here, I guess.
She's also the second woman in this video and the 12th woman ever to be on the FBI's most wanted list. Cindy was only added to the list in June of 2025, relatively recently. However, her crimes date back to 2022 when one of her children, her 6-year-old son, went missing. After lying to police that her child was with her biological father in Mexico, police began to get suspicious of what was actually going on, and Cindy was charged with the murder of her son. However, before Cindy could be arrested, her husband, and her 6 other children boarded a flight to India and were never seen again. While boarding this flight to India, it was confirmed that the missing child was not on this flight or seen anywhere at all. While the true circumstances and motivations behind this murder still remain a mystery, and the murder aspect is still alleged at this point, it is confirmed that in August of 2025, Cindy was caught and arrested in India and has since been extradited back to the United States, where she is facing the following charges: unlawful flight to avoid prosecution and capital murder of a person under 10 years of age. With this situation still ongoing, I truly hope that justice is served for the sake of this innocent young boy. Even though Cindy has been caught, the FBI is still offering up to $250,000 for anybody who has information that leads to the conviction of Cindy.
Yeah, because technically she's not even.
Even though that is the 10 most wanted list as of now, the video isn't over
convicted
yet.
yet.
I want to give 4 quick updates on people that were on the list in my last video nearly a year ago.
Oh yeah,
no longer
this
on
is the
list.
second video.
So let's quickly do a speed round. Vittel Innocent was on the list in my last video, but unfortunately it was removed from the most wanted list on July 1st, 2025. Now, this is upsetting simply because he wasn't caught and no criminal justice has been served. In case you're unfamiliar, Vittel Innocent is the leader of one of the most dangerous gangs in all of Haiti. And the gang that he operates is responsible for numerous police officers, kidnappings of tourists and missionaries in Haiti, and other crime-related activities. Vittel
he was on a bunch of interviews. He did a bunch of this is the dude that was doing interviews, and he was just showing people around. I'm pretty sure it's the same dude.
Is powerful and extremely dangerous, and unfortunately, he is still on the loose. According to the FBI,
but he's like the head of a complete mercenary. Like, they're watching him constantly. Like, not the FBI is watching him. His team is watching him constantly. Like, he's completely secured.
Because it was determined he no longer fit the criteria, and he was actually replaced with Rodriguez Singh.
Okay, yeah, this is why. This is why, because I know a couple of these, because I don't know if it was listed or not, but this dude was definitely on there. This dude was on there. This guy. Yeah, some of these guys, this dude, some of these guys were on it previously. That's why I knew of them. And I watched the first one off stream.
At least works sometimes. Alexis Flores was removed from the most wanted list on March 6th, 2025, once again, unfortunately, because it was determined he no longer fits the criteria. As a refresher, Alexis Flores is alleged to have murdered and assaulted a 5-year-old girl in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in the year 2000. He was added to the list in 2007 and was removed only a few months ago in 2025. And unfortunately, this man is still on the loose 25 years later after committing such an atrocious crime. Donald Eugene Fields II was caught on January 25th, 2025, relatively recently.
Eugene!
Because of his involvement in child trafficking from 2013 to 2017. Donald was officially added to the FBI's most wanted list in 2023. Unfortunately, he was caught only 2 years later. And finally, Arnaldo Jimenez was caught on January 30th, 2025, only 5 days after Donald was caught. Arnaldo was added to the list in May of 2019 after he brutally murdered his wife only hours after his wedding. He left her body in the bathtub of their apartment and then fled the scene and was never seen until January of 2025.
Wow.
And ladies and gentlemen, there we have it, the 2025 update of the FBI's most wanted list. If you guys enjoyed this video and would like annual updates, that's something I think I'd be down for. I know this video got pretty dark, so if you wanted to watch a video that was a bit more fun, check out the video on screen right now. It's a video about survival myths that—
Alright, y'all. Wow, that was a good video. Very good video. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea what I would do if I was on the FBI wanted list, bro. I just wouldn't get put on the FBI's wanted list. That's my idea. No, that was a good video. That was a really good video.